Joy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Christmas card for Spellbinders. I am using the Patchwork Petals die set as well as the outlined Christmas sentiments and sealed sprigs to make this fun inlaid card. I am using 4 different cardstocks, 1 solid, 2 polka dot, and then 1's a snowflake, and then white. So I die cut the frame out in a 120-pound cardstock just because I knew that I was going to be inlaying this. I glued down the Patchwork Petals with Barely Art glue that is available in the Spellbinder shop if you're interested. And I applied that to a white square base, so I used the outline die to cut the solid piece. Now, if you wanted to skip that step, you could attempt to put everything down with a double-sided adhesive. I don't have a lot of luck with that. I'm kind of klutzy. So I opted to back my frame with paper. I am using my espresso, which is like an ink smushing tool from Sweet Sentiment, to do that. Now I am putting down the solid piece of the flower. I chose to use like a brick red color. Now my paper is a retired 6x6 pad from American Crafts that I got on clearance at Tuesday morning like 3 years ago. But you can use any paper that you want. I just chose something from one pad because I find that if you use prints from the same pad, everything matches and goes together. So that's kind of a cheat sheet in ways. So I die cut everything off camera. So I dyed all 4 pieces. I used the entire die. And then in cups, I divided out the pieces I was going to need. And then to assemble, like I said, I'm using the Barely Art glue. What I find to be the easiest is to lay the glue down onto the solid cardstock and then lay in each of the pieces. I only sped this up by about 2 times just so that you could see the process. I started out using a crafter's wand, but I found that actually using my fingers was much easier than attempting to use the wand and getting everything straight. And it is a lot easier if you use an ink smushing tool or an acrylic block to weigh the stuff down in between the layers just so that you get good adhesion. Now this is where I am speeding everything up. For the square part of this design, I decided to use this cream colored snowflake paper. That was just to break up some of the busyness, because if you use pattern papers everywhere, sometimes it's just too much for the eye. And later on for my design, I'm going to be adding sprigs and flowers and sentiments, and I just needed a little bit of something to break it up. Now, I will tell you, this square measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So it fits nicely on an A2 card panel. So that is what I opted to do. If you wanted to make a square card, it would be really cool on that. In fact, I think I might try that next. Here I am putting in the rounded pieces of this olive green polka dot. What I like about this die is once you cut it, all of the pieces are the same, so you don't have to worry about getting each shape like in the right spot, meaning if you took it from the right hand side of the die, it'll still fit in the left hand side. So when you pop it out, you don't have to worry about doing all the puzzle piecing. They're not going to be backwards is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm having a hard time with my words right now, but this is super simple to put together. This is a collection. It's a quilted collection by Becca Feeken. There are several other dies. I will have a couple more videos or Instagram posts with the others, but I wanted to start out with this one because it looked like it was the easiest, just so that I would have a little bit of practice before I got into it. The next one I'm going to do, I think, is like an 8-point filigree, and even though it's going to piece together almost the same way, just very simply, it has a lot more pieces to it. So I chickened out, and I took the easy way out. And if you are new to inlaying dies or new to die cutting, I would really suggest doing, doing the easier ones and then kind of graduating up. This also, in my opinion, would be beautiful as a white on white design. And I might give that a try next time, like adding different dimension on it. So here is the look of that panel. I love this. I think it looks like a wonderful Christmas blanket. I am doing a little trick for my sentiment. I die cut the sentiment strip from this same die set, the Patchwork Petals. And then I am taking a Maker Forte stamp. I think it's the Holiday Spotlight. And I am stamping the Merry Christmas. So by die cutting that first, you know exactly how it's going to fit, and you can layer that so it's straight. Now that's an awesome tip if you're going to mass produce, because that way you can just keep laying that a new piece of the sentiment strip in and just stamp, stamp, stamp. Then I die cut the sealed sprigs, and I am using Rustic Wilderness Distress ink with an itty bitty blender brush from Rabbit Hole Designs, just to add a little bit more texture. I also die cut the poinsettia from the Outline Christmas Sentiments, and I'm using a mouse pad and the end of a score tool just to curl that a little bit. So I did 2 layers, offset them so that they would look like a pretty little flower. Here I'm taking black licorice twine from Spellbinders. I think it was Fun Stamper's Journey, actually. And I am winding that around the bottom portion of the A2 panel. And using painter's tape, I am adhering that just so it doesn't go anywhere. Off camera, I melted some wax from the new sealed wax collection. I did a bright red and a burgundy, and I poured that right onto my glass mat and let it cool. Here I am just working on my arrangement, and I'm putting a huge dollop of Bearly Art Glue to hold down not only the sprigs on top of the twine, but then I'm also adhering the wax seal the same way. Now, if you were brave, you could pour the wax seal right over it. I'm not that brave. I'm too invested in my card at this point if I messed it up. And then I am taking some double-sided adhesive foam tape, and I'm adhering that Merry Christmas sentiment. So if you've stuck with me this long, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, like, comment, consider subscribing. That means the world to me. Now, I used my crafter's wand and some Bearly Art Glue to adhere the poinsettia to the wax seal, so it's a little bit offset. And then I used a gold bauble from my stash for the center of that. And then I did scatter some of those same baubles around the card just to add some shimmer and shine, because I love all the things on my cards. Here are some close-ups of my card. And again, if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I love hanging out with you guys. If I don't hear from you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care, my friends. Until next time, keep crafting. Bye-bye.